everybody, and I guess happy public holiday or something.
Happy breakfast in bed day.
Yes, there you go.
Good morning, Taiwo. Taiwo is here to do us this morning.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Please say good morning again to Lagos.
Yes, I don't think we heard you. Go ahead, Taiwo. Good morning again.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Lagos.
There you
There
go.
you go. Thank you so much. Now, Lagos, you can get involved in our conversation this morning through WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. We'd love to hear from you, members of our audience, and also, of course, our old faithfuls. You can also go on Twitter. We're live at Smooth981FM and use the hashtag BusinessExpress981.
All right, thank you so much. So yesterday the market did dip, so it fell by 0.14%, so still at 12.15 trillion naira as far as the market cap is concerned. 32,568 points is where we dropped to. Ikeja Hotel was our top gainer, and top loser was Linkage Assurance. Taiwo, we thought we'd have a conclusion to the elections. This time last week we were talking about security data and all that stuff. Data. INEC has released the figures for us to let us know how many people have collected their PVCs. What is it now? It is 84 million registered voters. 72.8 million have collected their PVCs, so that's about 86%. Now, Taiwo, Mark Essien of Hotels NG, there's a tweet that he sent out. This is after the elections were postponed last week, and he says to do. I want to throw this out to our listeners, throw it out to you as well. To do digital voting, everybody receives a physical OTP generating device. That's one-time password device. They use their national ID number with a secret password generated for them at the start of a week. That's before the election. Then everybody receives a password for the election on their phones, and you use that combination to vote. He's just throwing out the idea, right? And just seeing how something like that might theoretically work. What do you think about? You think it's practical? You think it's something that's
Yeah, there's so many other solutions out there. I mean, the question isn't whether technology can play a role in this. The question is, will technology be allowed to play as much of a role as it should be? But don't forget that there are economic forces here, there are political forces here. So once it goes full-blown technology, it becomes more difficult to have some of the antics that you have today. Number two, some of the people that have been profiting from this, I mean, the budget was what, 185 billion naira?
189, yeah.
189 billion naira. So it's a lot of money, and a lot of people are making money from this venture. So it's a 4-year thing for them. So
right.
People have to print the ballot papers, and there are several variations of those ballot papers. They have to be treated like security documents. Even in terms of logistics, I mean, I personally don't think INEC should be involved with that, but we have logistics companies, they can always sign agreements and so on and so forth. So there's a lot in terms of that. So the question is not whether technology can play a role. It's a solution, it makes sense.
Right.
So the OTP, where are they going to get the OTP device? Currently we pay about 2,100, 2,300 to get an OTP device from banks.
Your bank, right.
So who's going to fund that OTP device? Is the bank? Is the government going to bear that cost? The PVCs cost money.
Right.
To print. Those are cards alone in themselves. So there's a lot of, I see a lot of duplication of this. Are you going to abolish the PVC? Are we going to redo PVCs every 4 years? And so on and so forth like that there. If we really want to use technology, there's simpler ways to be able to implement some of these things rather than re-incurring. We incur the cost repeatedly. So it's become a recurrent expenditure, whereas it's supposed to be a one-time capital investment, and thereafter the recorded expenditure just goes in terms of staffing and other logistical issues that you have to do that you cannot run away from. So, nice idea, nice option, but to be honest, it's really more around whether there's
going to happen. Thank you. Now, so I'm trying to get about this, trying to get a town hall together, for something. Can't announce that yet, but we are debating whether to make this a topic. So I'm wondering if, as far as the will is concerned, between now and 2023, can we, the public, push and create enough pressure to where by 4 years from now, we're probably forcing the government to come together and say, you know what, this is what the public wants. Let's look at voting electronically to make things easier. So is that, rather than leaving it and saying maybe they'll adopt it, can we actually be the ones to put enough pressure? I mean, 4 years is a long time. Can we get to where we can say this is something we want to experiment with in 4 years, maybe in one state?
We can't, and we've already started using technology. We've already started digitizing the process. So, for example, look at the card readers. They're meant to make things a whole lot easier in themselves there. But let me tell you my own experience when I want to capture my PVC. when I went to do my PVC. At the point of capture, when I put in my fingerprints, it brought out somebody else's face.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
How
not
is that
kidding.
even
That's a
possible?
statement. That's real.
Right. Right.
The guy had to reject it and then erase. So he erased that record
The
again,
data
and
of the
then
person.
put my then registered that my fingerprint against my own picture because I'd never. So where in the world is it that the devices are not 100% accurate, which means they're prone to errors,
Right.
and all of that, and sort of keep mixing, modeling it up,
Yeah.
or somebody's taking some other data capture that I've done, whether it's through registering for PVN, whether it's through registering for national identity
Right.
card, whether it's through registering for SIM card, or international. They've taken some other data, some other source of information, data from some other database, and sort of fed it in there and sort of made a mess
Of what's
of all of those things. So
This is very serious, and also this also tells about administrative errors, and we see this a lot, particularly with with some agencies, with regards to you putting your details and getting it wrong, putting A for B, B for A,
Right.
and we don't perhaps understand the import of what we're doing. It's not just a mistake that you just quickly correct.
Right.
This is, you could go to the airport and be charged for something you didn't do.
Right.
I mean, so I've got a few bank accounts, and what you see is that so I write my name in a particular way, and then the person filling it in, they decide to take the liberty of writing it how they want to write my name.
That's something. Anyway,
No,
look.
it's a big issue
Right,
because
right.
it's not their prerogative. They should ask you and say, how do you want your name written?
Right.
Or write it exactly the way you've written it.
Anyway, look, you know what? I've been pushing for this lower interest rate thing. I think I'm going to abandon the interest rate. I think now I'm going to start this campaign. We have to. I'm going to try and push people that are listening. Let's try to put enough pressure together to try and get this digital voting thing off the ground. I just want to let's at least test it in one small constituency. Let's test it somewhere and see if we can get
It exists. I think Cham's already deployed something like that already for some. They
by phone. No, I'm talking about by phone. Anyway, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
So you can put enough pressure on it.
Rotus,
All right.
Rotus, I think the lower interest rate is probably a campaign that it's not probable.
People will vote for you if you contest based on that.
All right. Samsung. Let's move to Samsung. Had their Unpacked event in San Francisco on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday? It's been 10 years now that the Galaxy phones have been in existence. So to celebrate 10 years, they released 4 new Galaxy phones. I mean, it's the S10s, excuse me, the S10 phones, and but the real thing, and I've posted a video on our, tweeted a video, I think we'll retweet it on the Smooth FM handle. You guys should check out the video. They released a teaser video. Taiwo, I want to get your thoughts. The new Galaxy Fold. You want to help out our listeners, what's this new Galaxy Fold about? It looks pretty innovative. Pretty spanking.
Well, when it's folded, it looks like a Nokia communicator, the original Nokia communicator. When it's folded,
yeah.
The only difference is that it has a screen in every aspect. So when you open it up, it becomes a phablet, more like a tablet.
Right.
So it's a phone and a tablet together. When you fold it, it's a phone. When you open it up, it becomes a phablet. It's great for gaming and people that want larger screens. It will be great for bloggers as well. It actually does proper multitasking, because of the screen size in itself. Google actually had to develop a different kind of software which they started working on some years ago just to be able to accommodate the change. So one of the features it does is that if you're doing something while the screen is folded while the phone is folded on the one screen in front, when you open it up, it transfers that app or whatever you're doing onto the inner screen as well. So Google had to work on that, so it's not just Android or Android Pie, one of those things. They actually had to work on that technology to be able to do all that screen resizing and so on and so forth. It's not perfect yet. They will tell you that categorically. I mean, there's still a long way to go in terms of perfecting that technology. But one of the reasons why they brought it out, like they said, is the fact that they've been able to test and hinge system where you open and close it there, and that you can do that for a couple of 100,000 times.
Okay.
Over 100,000 times, without actually breaking in that sense, and they felt that it was a good time to launch it in that sense there. But at $2,000, it's a luxury smartphone.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It's got 6 cameras, 10 megapixel camera, and then I think a 5 megapixel, maybe a selfie for a selfie camera in itself. Camera quality, I don't think it's the best, and even in the market in itself, It's a generation 1.
Yeah. So there's going to be upgrades,
so there's several upgrades
and
and
stuff
iterations
like that.
to it in that sense. There, I wouldn't jump at it. You know, so
it's a status symbol phone.
yeah, it's really more for people who have cash to throw away.
$2,000 is 730K.
Yeah,
anyway, we'll
That's
see.
almost
It's
a
going to
million.
but we know that trust Nigerians. We'll see somebody with it. It ships out end of April, so that's when it starts.
And the
shipping out.
phrase you used just describes the typical Nigerian status symbol.
Yes.
And so you're going to see it.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Oh, of course.
They shall brought here before Valentine's Day.
Nah.
Alright, so we have messages here on WhatsApp. Happy birthday, Rotus. What are you not telling us something?
Ini has outed me. I was keeping it quiet.
Oh
but
my
yeah,
goodness, happy birthday, Rotus.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Ini, thank you very much indeed
Thanks.
for outing him. Well, Felix has a question for you this morning. Good morning, Rotus. I want to invest in exchange traded fund in commodities. Do you know how I can go about it?
Okay, yes, Felix. There's some ETFs on the stock exchange that actually I think they do gold and silver. I'll get some more info for you. But yes, we have ETFs on the exchange. You can actually invest through your broker. So your same brokerage account that gets you your stocks, your bonds, you can actually instruct your broker to get you ETFs. I'll actually find out which specific ones are into commodities and get that more information for you.
All right, we have an analysis of the Samsung S10. Shown here says Samsung S10 and S10 Plus are expensive eggshells with their curved screens. We still don't want people. Galaxy Fold at about 700K. Chai. We'll see how the hinge will hold up with
There is God. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, they talked about that hinge, saying that it's supposed to be really durable, but that's a good point. So we don't know how long it will be, how long his phone's actually going to last.
Alright, well, we have birthday messages for you here, Rotus. I met Victor Sheni sending your best wishes.
Thank you,
Please
I appreciate
don't
it.
send messages alone. We accept cash gifts, stocks. We accept.
Actually, also, sorry, I don't know how many people listen. A lot of people listen to Total Football. Amazing of Total Football. He's our birthday mate, so happy birthday to Amazi as well. Thank you, everybody.
Here, Oye says S10 has 6 camera. Is it a CCTV?
No, that's a fold.
The fold.
Oh, the fold.
The fold.
Samsung Galaxy Fold.
But
it's not the S10.
actually no. There's 4 S10s. There's the S10, S10e, S10 Plus. There's an S10 5G, which has 6 cameras as well. I'll double check. I think
it's not the 6 cameras.
Okay, we'll check. Well, I think that one I might have to as well.
cameras.
All right. Okay, wrapping up.
We're wrapping up.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right, people, please. My birthday present. Go and vote. That's the birthday present I want from all of you. If
Such
you
a
have
noble Nigerian.
yes, please go and vote. That's my birthday present. Thank you.
All right, happy birthday one more time,
Thank
Rotus.
you.
And I think
Taiwo,
Victor
thanks for
Sai-
coming.
Taiwo, thank you very much. We'll wrap up with Victor's size message, which is happy birthday, Rotus. You make my mornings. Wish you all of life lessons.
Thank you, Victor. You're
Thank
too
you,
kind. Thank you,
Victor.
everybody. Thank you.
All right, Rotus will be back on Monday.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll be telling you and discussing the success of the election. this
Amen.
weekend.
Oh, amen. We hope so.
All right, Lagos. See you at 7:30 when we bring you freshly pressed 981. But enjoy some good music right now.